riding so low, this feeling just can't leave me alone. It makes me know I want it all. Oh yeah, 'cause I've got a fire deep within. It's a strong desire to touch the sky and take flight. I'm gonna take the world 'cause it's mine. I want it all, I want it all, I want it all. To touch the sky and take flight. I've got a fire deep within. It's a strong desire to touch the sky and take flight. I'm gonna take the world 'cause it's mine. I want it all. To touch the sky and take flight.
You got to give it to me. You got to give it. You got to.
Somebody scream! I can't sing this nearly as well as that. Not nearly as good. Hello, everyone. I apologize for the lateness of me. That in like Tsar fashion, Tsar late. I need a, I think an emote. I don't know what to put this volume to, by the way. So we're gonna put it like 50 for now. We'll turn down music and sound effects, I guess, a little bit. So yeah. I've never played this game before. Not once. So, wait, does it move the... Oh, that's... Oh. Chat, how far down can we see? This also moves this, which also moves this. I like it. Anyway, yeah, how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone is doing extremely well. I hope my settings went back to normal. I think I put it back. Yeah, I did a stream after that. Okay, so this is the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Oh, never played this game before, so yeah, no spoilers in chat, please. If there are spoilers, I do know about the. I know the bucket is a meme. I know nothing about the bucket. But hi links, hi test. I'm here, but I'm tired. That's not good. You need to not be tired. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard.
Okay.
Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk.
Basically,
telling him what buttons to push,
any sell-up stream,
and in what order.
Okay.
This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in,
Okay.
as though he had been made exactly for this job.
Good job on it, dude.
Stanley was happy.
Oh, dude. I like being happy.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened.
Okay.
Something that would forever change.
By the way, chat, let me know if I need to turn up the
Something
volume.
he would never quite forget.
I think it's a
He
little
had
low.
been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, let me turn up the settings just a little bit, the audio. Oh, not video. Turn it to like 59. Nice, okay. Okay. So... Oh, okay. Is the sensitivity a little high, but it should be fine. Oh, you slide when you walk. I don't know if I like that. Oh, okay, you can crouch. I hate Mondays. Oh, David Garfield. Stanley obtained consciousness. Yeah, he went against the machine. Can I jump? Okay, I can't jump. That sounds like a keyboard. I can click everything but the actual keyboard. Oh, I go through chairs? Okay. Who's typing? Yeah, it's exactly what I want to know. Okay, so you can move side to side. Okay. Who even likes Mondays? I don't mind Mondays.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder where all the employees went.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Oh, chat.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
So this game is extremely self-aware from when... Oh. Oh, no, turn that back on. Uh-oh. What's that? I just like work. Oh, I like work. I just hate my boss. Oh, okay. I can read chat, I promise. Can I shut this? What happens when I try and go back in my office? Oh. Thanos snapped his finger. Yeah, imagine how scary that would be too. Like you're on a plane and he just snaps away the pilots. If a girl was pregnant, could he snap away a baby? I don't know. Assuming so, right? What if he snapped away the mother, not the baby? Oh, okay. I'm saving the company money. This one say. Surname access. I want to turn that off too. So 425 has 2 rooms or 2 doors into his office. That sucks. Oh, okay, that just spilled. What does that say? Maybe fuel? I see a ladder. Give me chat. Alright. Let's get on with it, right?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Game, you can't tell me what to do.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Ah. Chat, this is where all the magic... This is a break room? Like...
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
I mean, that painting is actually kind of nice. Okay.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Can't tell the voices in your head. When you won't and will do. Exactly. Wait, did he said it said to go straight ahead, but this looks suspicious. This is the...
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
Well, hang on. I want to know what it's here. Like, okay, look, game. You give me options, okay? I thought, like, look, the detours, okay? Oh, wow. This is beautiful. Warning. Do not jump from the car. Okay, thank you. I can't jump anyway. The game won't let me. Just do.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
Okay.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Wait, yo.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life.
Yo, chat, we
She's
simping?
been waiting.
Yo, wait, she hot, though. Virgin poison should attempt a what? So... Okay. We're just gonna continue. Screw it. I guess I don't know where I am anymore. Oh no.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
We are Venom. Let your intrusive thoughts win. I don't trust you, light. No. Let me out. Nope. Nope.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope.
I didn't
Hope
pick
for a
up...
life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Mm-hmm.
No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible.
No, you can't tell me what to do,
Double check.
voices. Also, like...
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another.
No!
Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits.
No!
Picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action.
I could have lived
How's that
happily
even
ever after.
possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How
What's
have I
happening?
not noticed it sooner?
What?
You're not Stanley. You're a real person.
Yes.
I can't believe I was so mistaken.
I'm Nikolai.
This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making.
No,
Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation?
If
Well,
a-
I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world.
Look.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
If a voice in real life tells you to do something,
Choice.
don't do.
It's
Oh
the
boy.
best part of being a real person.
Okay.
But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or
Right.
he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack."
Practice.
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less?
More.
And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Okay, look, again, if a voice in your head tells you to do something, the good thing to do is not do that. That's all right. What do you got for me? I like how they even blocked this off too, so you can't just walk off. Can I like shimmy jimmy up to this? No, I can't. The box. The box. You opened it. Yeah, okay, I guess I gotta just go. Alright, let's see this.
Now that we know
Existential
your choices are
crisis.
meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
Yeah.
Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story.
Yeah, Last of Us
That
2.
would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Can I, as soon as I... Okay, I won't go back. Oh, I need a key card. Chat, do you think there was like a key card somewhere that I missed? Dang it. No key cards. Okay. All right. How far back is it gonna be? Is it gonna get me to go through the 2 rooms again?
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, so I have no choice but to go through the other door. Aw, that kind of sucks. All right.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage?
I want to get over there.
Now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to.
Fire paper guy.
I have to shut the game down.
Wait,
I have to.
Wait, what?
I have to.
No, just let me go through the...
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see?
Yep.
Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you?
I mean,
You're
no,
a
it didn't.
child.
Well, look, he's a video game character. He's a dipshit. He'll be fine.
Story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Okay,
All
chat,
right.
so I have to go left here, right?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Because if I go right, will it just do the same thing? I kind of, you know, I don't want to play through the same thing. I don't know if it's giving me another chance. Screw it. We're gonna. If it gives it the same thing, I apologize.
No! Why did you do
Okay,
that?
it did the same
Quickly,
thing. Okay.
Hurry back.
Nope.
Behave exactly as Stanley
Okay.
would.
Okay. Yeah. So
That means
this is
choosing
the soft
responsibly
lock.
and
Okay.
Always putting the story first.
Okay.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All
Okay.
right.
So I have no choice
When
but to go left
Stanley
now.
came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Okay. Yeah, it'll keep us soft locked until we. Can I annoy it? I mean, it seemed like I annoyed. It seemed like it's soft locked, like intentionally soft lock. Okay, here we go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
For not
Stanley
getting
decided
fired,
to go up
talk
to his boss's
less.
office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passively aggressively on other coworkers. Resent coworkers for not supporting you more. Make sure your slide has a slink and blue graphic. Okay, yeah. This will ensure a calm, productive work environment. Yep. Everyone is unique. Most of all. No. Nobody is perfect. You're a nobody. Number of all the slides on this slides. Okay, so there's nothing like hidden. What's this one? Right at which charts are the same information. Chart ratio. Charts. Oh, okay. Rate of increase in graphs per slide. Please know what charts I'm begging. The boss appreciation moment. Circle the top 20 things you love about your boss. I should make chat do this. Yeah, what do you guys love about me? Get one thing. Solving interpersonal conflict. Your advisor is a conflict, another a diligent employee like yourself. More inclined to a person's conflict. Remember that it takes 2 people to start a fight. I didn't get to read the end of that, but right now you're...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Whoa. This is fancy.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Chat, why is there a gun to that panda's head? What'd the panda do? What does it say? I am the most expensive boss.
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Yeah. Blue Shark 832. I get it. I just want to look around a little bit.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
Can you give me a minute to look around? Just a minute, okay? I've never been here before.
Fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what?
What?
It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do.
I was looking at the panda!
Asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story
He doesn't
seriously.
make choices, you make them for
If you
him.
didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the
tried
hell
to.
you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You... When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm outside the game.
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both
All right, chap. I guess that's take care. Have a good day.
I'll accept whatever you do. I simply
No, I'm joking.
That step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
Oh,
This is more important than you can ever.
so you can
know.
play this without pressing the keys.
The story
Okay.
needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this, Stanley? Are you there?
What?
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best.
There's some way I can like sneak.
That's
Sorry,
all.
Leroy.
I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I think there's
Perhaps he
something
had
to do with these
simply missed the
computers,
memo.
chat. So we don't need to go. Input received. Wait, that didn't do that last time. Chat, that did not do that last time. Or did I miss that one?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, He entered the door on his left.
So what if I go right? I'm gonna go right. I want to go
This
back
was
to the
not correct
other
way to the
place.
meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Something is
Perhaps
always
he wanted to
changing.
stop
Oh,
by the
okay.
employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I want to go through the door on the left when we get to the.
This room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Okay. Yeah.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
Nah, I kind of want to go right. I have no.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
Are you sure?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Sure, take your time.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
I know this game. That's. Whoa.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Wait, how do I look for your number? 427. Oh yeah, I didn't look for my number, but wow.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
They're watching your every employee is okay, so that one's not on this time. So I needed to do something specific when that one was on. Okay,
When Stanley... Wait.
Whoa.
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or...
Maybe.
Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was
The
right
Matrix
here
was
just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh my jeez, this is like the back rooms chat. Which way am I supposed to go?
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Oh. Wait.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm still shutting off all these monitors. But they all make a different noise. That one made a bit of me. Maybe I'm not supposed to turn that one off. I don't. Oh.
Okay, yep, it's worse.
Yep.
I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where
The
we
end is
just
never.
came
And
from.
yeah.
Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Sure thing. You're the narrator. Next run, if I glitch it out completely, I'll just follow everything he says. We'll do everything to the T.
Aha! I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Hooray!
Congratulations!
Chat, we did it!
And then
Easy.
put in a lot of hard
Game's
work,
so
and it
easy.
really paid off. So,
Only 36
good
minutes.
job. Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Sometimes people win and it's not fair or square,
I'm
okay?
getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
No, I like to win. Can you oh, okay. Why is there a line there now?
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
All right, next break, chat. Like I said, next break we are going to. It made a different noise that time. Next break, I'll do exactly what he says. No, I'm not following that line.
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Oh, okay. So I have no choice. Okay. I have no choice. Okay. Dang.
You see? The line knows where the story is.
TM.
It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story?
Of course.
Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa.
Yes.
Hang on.
Technically.
That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Why would that exist? Oh. This game is really clever, I like it.
Banana. Oh. Something's rubbed off there. I wonder what it said. Ba 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 da ba da da da. Look at that Payday reference, chat. Analysis. Wait a minute.
Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Okay.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Got it.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Okay, no, that's still a blank room. This game, I don't know why, this game is so well done. Oh.
Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't.
There I am all the way down there.
Hell with it. Restart.
Oh. I don't know why I keep checking that. It's here, 4:34.
You know what, Stanley?
Oh.
I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. This all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction? Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
All right. Big booty succubus
No,
women.
not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
Okay.
No lines or monitor rooms.
True.
Just
I'm
don't
with you.
acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
Okay. I won't pay attention to it.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision.
Okay.
From here, the story is in our control.
Well, by
How
we, you mean
important
you.
We mustn't squander the opportunity.
Right.
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just
Okay.
walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go...
No, you know what?
There must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh, I have no choice.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? Am I supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me?
Find a
Why don't I
bookstore.
get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be.
Oh,
I don't
it didn't
want
matter.
to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on.
The
I don't want to
confusion
be trapped
ending.
like this. I won't restart the game. I won't
Okay.
do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Okay, good man.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the
Oh
cycle?
no, game
The,
over.
Whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay.
Starts the game, returns.
now we just
It
wait,
literally just
you
showed
know.
everything.
I suppose in some way
That's so
that
cool.
This is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are.
Yeah, he
right
found the
now.
confusion ending schedule.
We'll find
Yeah.
out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you
All right, it's just wait. Oh, this is ending restart 7.
all of his co-workers were gone, what could it mean?
You're doing that, chat.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. Oh, chat, that's the second input. Oh, so I need to like play enough. What if I follow everything correctly? I think I'm
Stanley
still
came to a
in.
set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Am I still in the confusion ending? I guess not, right? Okay, we'll do everything correctly. We'll do it correctly.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs
Wait,
to
I can
his
go down
boss's
now.
office.
Wait, hang on, chat. I can go down now. I couldn't before. I couldn't go down before.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last,
1, 2,
he came to the
B4.
conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
I feel like I
He
need to write
just
that down.
hadn't
Why do I
found
feel like I
the
need to
words
write
for it.
that down?
I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Yeah, 1, 2,
He
B4.
thought to
I feel like
himself,
that's important for
"I
some
suppose
reason.
I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid." So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It
AB
was so much
11,
fun,
12.
and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain beyond a
I'm just gonna
doubt
keep walking,
that this
chat, while he
was in fact
talks.
a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars
Oh,
just a moment
achievement!
ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back,
Chat, that'd be so
the
nice.
fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oh,
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man...
what happens when
made
you
her
lack
feel
sleep?
better.
Yeah.
But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Alright, well, that's one ending.
All of his co-workers were gone.
See, I keep checking to
What
make
did it
sure.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, now we gotta do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
If I go down, it's just gonna kill me again, right? Like it. That's the thing. I never know. Oh, this is new. But the feeling, I got the feeling money's for stealing, but yours, of course. Hey, that's a lovely purse. Wow. This is new. I couldn't come in here before. Oh. Oh. What does that say? Oh, business strategy. Ding dong. Oh, dun 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 dun. This used to be my I used to screw things up on purpose for videos, and it would cut to this song in a video of like my character that was a bear dancing, and it would say technical difficulties, please bear with us. Yeah, that used to be my error screen. Oops. Chat just. Oh, that's me. That's me. That's me. That's me. Sorry, that was me. That's all me. Sorry, chat. Oh, wait. Oh. Wait. Does it not go anywhere? I feel like, am I not pushing the right button? Okay, so if I hit down, nothing happens, right? If I hit up, this has to go somewhere, right? That's, oh.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Oh no.
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have
know the
known
code,
was
chat.
that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845. What if I do it backwards?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
How did I get? I got that, but for heat.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
I was role-playing chat, I didn't know the code. Oh, now I can go down.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Chat, we gonna die again.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Bring it. Think I'm scared of you? Oh no, I should have.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story. Trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss. Plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
No. Let me jump, please. Do the dreaming thing. Do the dreaming thing. Do the dreaming thing where I dream. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Whoa.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Can't go anywhere else.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now?
This is my office.
Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
I mean, people just say that, like, death is just office computers. That we're dying the moment we're born, right? Technically, that's the destination. Button sounds. Credits? Oh, that's awesome. Which way do I go, though? Maintenance room? Death is just office computers. This game is so aware, I love it. Okay. So, this way looks I don't understand which way to go. Like, is this like a whole thing I can explore, or am I screwed as soon as I go a specific way, you know? Alright, let's go up the grandiose staircase. Warzone. In early development, we had designed an ending where Stanley would end up in a battlefield fighting aliens. Oh, dude, I love aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for this tone of game. Plus, some people interpret it as making fun of people who like shooters, which is not our intention. Yeah, you leave the people who like shooters alone. Oh, that would have been cool, though. Alien base, awesome. That's really cool that they put in, like, concepts. Dink dunk. Subject gay. Are you gay? Wait, what? Wait, what? From art. Subject regarding a game work. Dear Nate, I appreciate this family game. This is part of this title style. I give a credit to art, which I'm eager to see a sequel, prequel, standalone companion game because art. Okay. Forest gayness. What the hell? Will the Stanley Parable have infinite quests? How many endings? The Stanley Parable will be okay. From Michael M. Some questions. How do you make a JPEG? How do you make the worst game ever? What's the difference between a doc? How is the games? If the game's going, it's good for better. I'm from Cool Man. Send the narrator questions. Oh, okay. Question: are you a rock? Like, do people actually, like, are these actual emails? What is a strange number? Oh, can you tell me what the significance of 1112 is? I want to know is what would I do if Stanley entered any other room? That's so cool, right? The gay one was weird but funny. Okay, I don't know how many of these are, so I don't want to sit here reading these for like an hour and a half, right? Congratulations, the line of producer recording. The first apply for your claim 24. Announcer. Okay, last one after this, and then I'll just leave. Love the game. Greetings on the podium. Okay, so those are just actual emails that the narrator got. Okay, here's the other way up, I think. Okay. Oh. One doorway to maintenance lounge, air back on track. The vent. What about this? To the confusion ending. So there was a vent in the confusion ending that I could have entered in. Oh. Trailers. Ending. Another part of the game, okay. Countdown desk. Okay, so, okay.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path.
What happens if I hit quit?
Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
I kind of wanted to hit quit the menu, but I wasn't sure what was gonna happen. Okay. So I died again. Oh.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct?
Yes.
Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Okay. Okay, there's nothing else open, right? Okay. There's no narrator, by the way.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So I wonder if I should have tried the confusion ending again.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Try and get the vent.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, let's just do this.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming new age
No,
music.
stop. Well, how do I get the boxes? See, that's one thing I wish it gave me a hint on what to do with the boxes, you know? The box.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Get caught in the chair. This game is really funny. I don't know, like I said, I kind of wish I knew how to get more of the boxes.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
I'm right there. And it actually shows my office. That's cool. Good attention to detail. Okay, so I can't do anything there.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time?
Did I say pirate?
Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been
Why does that one say
manipulated to
pirate?
accept it blindly?
Pirate. Any other names? That one's scrambled.
No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
That
own
one.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, I'm gonna screw this up, chat.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent,
There's 3.
Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
Where's
In the event
4?
that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex.
Uh-oh, where's 4?
How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me.
Wait, do I have to...
What all this means, I barely know where to start.
Oh.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to
Wait, do I have to do like...
I have to say this, though.
One?
This version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a
I
disappointment.
don't get this.
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
I don't get
to
this.
see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here, just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in.
No, I can make
until
it,
the
Chad!
moment I say, happily ever after.
I didn't make it. I didn't know what to do. I just didn't know what to do. I tried.
All
Oh,
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
here are the
Stanley
boxes.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. Well, hopefully there's not a monitor that I have to push. New content? Oh, cool.
New content? What does that mean?
I don't know.
New content.
Let's go see. New content chat.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content. Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
I guess I should have went the other way first.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if, oh, okay. Let's see the content. Gimme the content, Stanley. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, nice, dude. I can jump. Huge. Wait. Oh, I can't jump anymore. Oh.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
I don't know. Let's go see.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is. That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore."
Does it really?
What quality assurance department signed off on this?
Can you give it to me?
I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation.
You should have been like, no, that doesn't exist. Yeah, it does. See, here you go, and give you that achievement.
If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Sure. I really wish it gave me that achievement. Test achievement, please. Oh.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Do I go to the vent or no? Damn it. Alright. Alright, what do you got in the vent for me? I don't want to, but maybe I'll be able to come back here. It sucks because you always have that choice and you're not sure if you can ever get back to it.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone.
This is
It's
beautiful.
where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC. You see, Stanley, doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched?
British
Back then,
Academy of
video
Film
games had
did
integrity. Back
Stanley
then,
Parable.
it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Good times. Oh, the demo, yeah. Damn, dude, that's huge. New video game releasing today. Deals tough choices.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James
Wow.
Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Zone? Oh, okay. Buy on Steam. Person of the year, it's Stanley. Oh. Whoa.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The
GameSpot.
Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else.
It's literally
it didn't
anything.
need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust
Bicycle.
in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Bicycle looks rough. Oh. I can't get in here.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well.
Oh no. Oh no, please. Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
That's funny.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for
Those are
someone who
pretty boring.
prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I?
I mean,
You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
you're doing a great
Yes.
job as a voice
This is
actor, but
actually
your
quite
character is
shocking for
preachy,
me.
for sure.
I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff
This
I
is
cut from the
fake
game
because it doesn't have
was
like an
right in
anime
areas that-
waifu
Well, I always thought it did. but
profile
maybe it
photo.
wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black
have
marks
to
are my
log.
otherwise unimpeachable track record.
Unimpeachable.
I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
You didn't.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as... What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanation.
I wish there was a skip button.
I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of Well, there's sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption... Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer.
Look at that
last one
time.
was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours.
Oh,
You've just
jeez.
been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
Oh my.
I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've
Clock
been
stopped.
through. I've had
Okay.
so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret.
Are you done? Can you get me out of here? I think he's dead. Yeah, I think he's dead. I think he's dead, chat.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point.
You're still
It was
going
meant
on
to
about it.
speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, "End."
Are you done?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end. That was funny. Okay, so this building's not falling apart yet, and I don't know why. There's got to be somewhere I can go, right? Ooh. Oh, pipe's starting to leak. Been in here for a while. Why? Imagine if we open it up and it like we see the girl from Portal. What's her name? Shell? Oh. That's a game I've never played through as well, Portal. Shouldn't the rest of this be... Oh. Oh. Oh, chat. Um, please work. All right, we're back to the beginning.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
See, all the boxes are gone now. I missed that one. New content? Oh, okay. How do I know? Did it take me back to the beginning again?
Oh, good. You noticed my sign.
Okay.
Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Alright. Is it gonna run? If it starts running through this again, chat? Well, okay, no, never mind. Like, if it starts running through the same explanation, I'm just gonna run to the washroom while it's gonna do that. Go straight? Okay, never mind.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra-deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra-deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
New hotness? They're back.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe,
bush.
don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features
make a
I've been
co-op one
developing for it.
That's all you need to do.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Red is the new orange. Collectibles. Free easy achievement. Okay, hang on. Pull the lever, receive your achievement. All right, let's see.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident?
Yeah.
Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, your Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel.
No, you give me
to
that
at
achievement right
last
now.
Satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Please. There's got to be a way to fix this damn thing. Damn it, game, you got me so excited. Got me so excited. I was like, they should have just given you that achievement right then and there. That'd have been really funny.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Jump circle, nice. Oh, it's bigger.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece then.
So I literally... Oh, wait. Could I have jumped if I didn't use all... No, it has to be the jump circle. Oh, yeah, look. It's a woman's head. Female. Oh, that's the girl. Is it Mariella or whatever? What's her name? Muriel? I don't remember her name. Anyway. What in the world is this? Oh, this is the exit. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I don't. I honestly think they should have just done this, but co-op.
Oh, goodness. Stanley, this is very awkward. I hate to do this, but before you leave, you really should go to both the exhibits for the bucket and the collectibles. You see, there's a surprise I was going to spring on you later, and it involves both of them.
Okay.
And I really do hate to break the illusion, but it's important that you go see the collectibles and the bucket. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines.
Okay.
And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
This is actually really cool. $106. Sweet. Okay.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
I should have looked at the map of where the bucket is. Where's this?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to fall forever. Thank you. Those doors aren't open. Okay, where is the bucket? Now, this is the meme that everyone talks about. I've never personally heard of it, but well, like a scene with the bucket is. Go see, where's the bucket? Achievement, merch. Oh, B2. And a hole is K, right? Yeah. Oh, this way. Then I'm. Ooh, merch. The bucket, the reassurance bucket. Okay.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket.
Okay.
You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding
All right,
it
where's that
has
skip
made
button?
you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Okay, I'm taking the bucket with me then.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
Yeah, I think that if they're making another one, they should just do it co-op. Have two narrators that fight over each other. That's what I would do. Who's this? That's Stanley.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay, are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of...
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Hold on, let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go, version 2.
The first one was
Who am I
better.
kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything.
The collectibles are fine. The achievement thing is
I wanted more than
fine.
anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game.
Make it
I wanted
co-op.
fans to love it.
You
No
both
matter
get
how
different
good these
narrators
gags
that
are, they
contradict
won't
each
stand
other.
on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
with respect, with care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Okay. It's clever. I like that.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he...
Okay, yeah, so this is the same opening. He's just gonna add...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, there's the bucket. Okay. Oh, wait. They blocked that off. There's no other input things? Okay.
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him, begging him to pick it up.
Why was he not doing? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
I wonder what it would take to
lounge
get
was
back to the
sublime,
boxes.
A work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Oh, okay, so that just leaves me here.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
That opened.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No, there's a reason why this is open.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
This is more comforting than the bucket.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some
I'm gonna go
way.
pee while he
As
talks.
it
I'll be
is,
right back real
he's
quick.
Literally just
Apologies,
standing
chat.
there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Is he still talking, Chad? Is he still talking?
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game
I did
is
have
not
to stay,
lost on
yeah.
them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Do I stay even longer? What's gonna happen if I stay even longer? I wonder if he'll restart the game if I stay here longer, because he's like, "Oh, you're just dead here. I'll just take you back to the main menu." Apologies, chat. I'm just gonna make sure my phone doesn't make any noise. I've done that a lot sooner, but okay, yeah. So I think that gag is done, right? I'll give it like 5 more seconds. Okay, yeah, I guess that's it.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to.
Monkey.
Fish? Fungus?
Fungus.
Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Okay, so I guess that was it. That's funny. Okay, let's go.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Kill
1 sec, I hear Mocha barking. I apologize, chat. She needs something. She thought her toy was somewhere where it wasn't. Gotta love dogs. Signal. Oh!
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So,
You could buy that kind of happiness.
Savor each and every moment you come across one
Where's
of
the
these
skip
beautiful
button?
figurines.
Okay. I'm gonna shut off this system now. Last time I tried to turn it on, but I couldn't figure out what to do. And I died, so...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
this is a massive
Did he have
room.
the strength to
There'd be a
find
lot of
out?
heat. Like, hell, in this room alone, I have just my PC and my monitor, my second monitor. And when I have all of this on, it can get really hot in
Now
here.
the monitors jumped to life.
Okay,
Their
where's
true
Pirate?
nature revealed.
There's Pirate.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers.
Wait,
The lives
that's
of
my
so many
office.
individuals reduced
Versus
to images
Pirate.
on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
Yeah.
living.
That one says something. That one's scratched out.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And
This game
as
is
the
pretty
cold
crazy.
reality
Yeah,
of his
I'm
past
loving it
began
so
to
far.
sink in, Stanley decided that this
We'll turn it off. See what happens.
blackness. and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps
I want to go home to my wife
in
Endgame.
to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wish I knew. Oh. I wish I knew, like I said, how to get those boxes back and how to get.
Maybe Stanley would never pick up the bucket. A lonely bucket, lonely, and Stanley picked up the bucket.
There we go. You happy? I have bucket.
Stanley crushed the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. This was
Bucket's
not the
full
correct
with
way
Mr.
to the meeting room,
Bucket.
but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him.
Mr. Bucket.
telling him
Anybody remember
that the
Mr. Bucket?
employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Oh, bucket.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Yes.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Sweet.
Stanley did
Oh.
not question why or how
There's
this
one of
bucket was
the-
speaking to him.
How do I get
It
down
should have alarmed
there?
him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Can I? Mr. Bucket. Buckets of fun with Mr. Bucket. Danger everywhere. That's okay, I have a bucket. Where am I?
No, stop. Look there on the wall. You see, there's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket?
It's true, I don't know what it
suppose
is.
That would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket.
I regret this
Please,
decision.
step in here for a moment.
I regret this decision. No, you've got. Okay,
Now then,
look.
I'm going to run you through some test scenarios, and you'll tell me whether or not the thing I'm showing you is a bucket.
Okay.
Simple enough, right?
This should tell us everything we'll ever need to know about what is.
Okay, I'm
or
gonna do
is
this
not
random because
a
it'll be
bucket.
funnier.
Okay, let's begin.
No.
Item 1. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a hologram of a bucket, not an actual bucket. Item 2. Is this a bucket? Correct. It is a 3D printed recreation of a bucket. Not an
No
actual
matter
bucket.
what I hit, it's gonna say I'm correct. We're gonna hit yes on this one.
Item 3. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
No matter what, I hate this. I hate this so much.
Item 4. Is this a bucket? What? Are you hallucinating? This is a tractor. It's an enormous machine that tills the earth. I thought this was a gimmick. How on earth did you manage to screw it up? Absolutely incredible. Let's just move on to the next one. Is this a bucket? Correct. This is a bucket.
It's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter anymore.
Item 6. Is this a bucket? Trick question. Both. Gotcha. Item... Wait, hold on. I can't find the next one. Let me see. Should be around here somewhere. Okay, you and I both know there isn't anything here. And I don't appreciate the implication that nothing is a bucket when we both clearly know that a bucket is something, and therefore nothing could possibly be something. Unless, in your twisted mind, have you somehow convinced yourself that a bucket is nothing? Answer me straight, Stanley. Do you believe that nothing is a bucket? You know what? I'm too confused to even sort it out. I've lost all sense of perspective. What is a bucket? What isn't a bucket? Mere moments ago I could answer these questions with confidence. And yet now I'm somewhat adrift. Do any of us know what a bucket is? Am I a bucket?
Yes.
Stanley, I can't keep doing this. I'm losing myself, and myself was all I ever had to begin with. I'm afraid the bucket is threatening to tear our relationship apart. I can't have that. I'm sorry. But I'm going to erase all buckets from the game entirely.
Oh no.
Okay, here we go. What happened? Is everything gone?
Because everything's
Why
a
did everything
bucket.
disappear? Wait, was
Every
everything a bucket?
yeah, everything is a
Every single
bucket.
thing in the game was a bucket. Oh my God, I had no idea. How could... Except me. I'm not a bucket after all.
Oh,
And you, Stanley,
dude.
you're still here. You're not a bucket either. Oh, this is wonderful news. We're not buckets.
We're not buckets.
Yes, I actually feel much more at ease right now. It's delightful to get some clarity on that issue, but it doesn't change the fact that we haven't got a game. So, tell you what, I'll reset everything and we'll put back all of the buckets, okay? And we'll know that it's all a bucket. But if you run into anyone else, maybe don't mention that.
Yeah.
Who knows what that information might do to a person? All right, here we go.
At least I know I'm not a bucket, chat. Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm not gonna bring the bucket with me because I do want to see what's down there.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands?
Mini stands?
Stanley figs.
Stanley figs.
What about Stanlerines? Yes.
Stanlerines isn't too bad either.
Another Stanlerine under your belt.
I know where 4 is, I just can't get to it.
Now listen carefully, this is important.
Okay.
Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Imagine if I just walked through the right door again. I kind of... Okay, we'll do it. We'll humor it.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge.
A 1?
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
How do I rate this? Oh. Did I break the game? I think I broke the game. Game broke. Ew. Yeah, I broke the game. Okay, so I need to quit out and then come back in.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So this brought me back to the beginning. Oh no, okay, we have a bucket here. Okay, we're good. I was like, I thought it like broke. Okay, so I want to try that one again, but not walk through that door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
I thought it started
Perhaps
the whole
he wanted
thing
to
over
stop
again.
by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, like a combination of but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Oh. That's how, okay. That makes no sense, by the way, how it's placed.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think,
Figlies.
Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
There we go. What happens when I fall off here? Fall off?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Okay. So, I can't survive that fall.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible.
So
he
where does
wasn't
this
fired
go?
years
Hey,
ago.
I'm just gonna... Where does this go? Oh.
Stanley had now gotten himself so far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten path that it seemed the office had begun. So far off the beaten.
Oh.
You didn't think I was actually just a recording, did you?
No,
What
kinda.
a silly and trite explanation that would be. All the back and forth between you and me, all the absurd adventures we've been through, and it all turns out I'm just a tape recording? It was all just in Stanley's head. I bet that's the kind of twist you think is revelatory. I bet each and every time you watch a movie where it turns out all to be in the main character's imagination,
I
you
hate
must
those.
absolutely bolt off the couch in pure shock at the phenomenal and intricate story.
No, that's lazy
it must
storytelling.
Be so simple to be
Really
you.
lazy.
Life being an unending waterfall of surprises and delights. How much more exciting you must find the world than the rest of us do. Now I've become sad. Look what you've done to me. This is all your fault.
Oh. Okay.
A soft wind blew outside and perhaps rain started, and if it did, it stopped shortly after. Stanley hoped that he would one day see weather.
Okay, so do I need to go back and still go off the platform, right? And see what the other direction is? The place where the bucket couldn't go. Yeah, so I need to finish the...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting
response.
room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay.
It was okay. I like how that
Eager
dialogue
to
is
get
different.
back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I
Oh, and I
really
still haven't
do
picked
want
up the
to help
phone
you,
either.
to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley.
I wonder,
You want to know
like, there's so many
badly
different
what's out
options,
there? You want
right?
to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Wonder if this is
Broken
Stanley
rooms,
Parable 2 is
exposed
supposed to.
developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What
Alien
did you
base.
want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Okay, I'm going to stop you there.
A what?
Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback
What
here.
if I said 5?
A 1? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a 1? That's not even helpful.
But a
What am I
1?
supposed to do with that? But I guess it isn't my place to judge. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. So, if I go through their game breaks, right? Oh, okay.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me?
Spite you.
Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
You're welcome.
Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Please tell me it just resets.
Aha! Fascinating.
What do you think this game is about,
Oh
Stanley? What's our backstory?
my.
What is our motivation?
Wow.
Well, it seems obvious to me that
They
you're
have to be
meant
the same
play as a creepy
developers.
man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Your creep tower.
That must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity.
This is an
So
actual
far,
video
I love
game.
everything about this game, Stanley.
Yeah.
And it seems there's even more.
Yep.
Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
There's a whole storyline to this, like a whole massive one. This is awesome. This is a hell of a reference. Like I said, they have to be the same developers. I forget what this game is called.
No, it can't be. It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing.
It's a good game.
Open, just wandering around, no right or wrong directions, no path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable...
I heard this is a really good game. I haven't played it. I don't even remember what it's called, but same developers. Like I said, it has to be. Right?
I think this will be just the thing.
Okay, what is he putting me into now? What is this?
Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley,
Oh,
if you manage to
man.
get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
People are gonna hate me because I forget the name of this game as well. It's an extremely popular game. This is the one,
Okay, so what exactly? do you
soccer
do
with the
here?
cars.
There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack.
No.
Okay, I'm seeing that there's
You
a
play
ball of some kind back here.
Rocket
Is this
League.
game sports ball? Stanley.
Rocket
I
League.
think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must.
Run the bases and do a
Okay, Stanley,
touchdown.
Here's the ball. Have fun.
This dude. Nice, dude. Try and block that car, idiot. Nice.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than
Nice.
my miserable little story that I worked so hard on?
Kinda, yeah.
Stanley, I have a thought.
Oh, I go
And
faster.
I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball. Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing, doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls.
Nice, dude.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley?
Kinda,
Are
yeah.
you having fun?
Yeah.
Is this a real video game?
Yes, it is.
Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over.
What?
That's right. Your little fun comes to an end. This is my game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
All right, see you later, man. I'm assuming I need to go into one of these exit points. Do I go down here? Or do I go through this? I'm gonna try this before I go down in the ball, retainer? Container? Oh, I can't. Okay, well. Looks like it's down into this hole we go.
Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh! Oh. This is going back to my... This is going back to my cubicle. Okay. At least I thought I had to go that way. Oh.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Was that another ending? Okay, cool. I can't click on my computer still.
How long was I sitting there? Stanley wondered to himself. Minutes? Days? Centuries? Did something crucial happen while my senses were turned? He made a note to be more careful with time from now on.
Okay, now we gotta do the cell phone one.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room. And
Or not
Stanley
cell
knew it
phone,
perfectly
telephone.
well.
I'm gonna
Perhaps
answer it
he
this
wanted
time.
to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Oh,
Please,
dude, is it me?
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
That's not funny.
Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley.
Don't make this hit so close to home.
See something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
No.
Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Wait, what?
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
No. Nope. Nope. I'm gonna press. Oh, wait.
Look at him there, pushing buttons.
Damn it.
Doing exactly what he's told
press
to
H.
do.
I fat
Now
fingered.
he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now
Stanley
he's
Parable,
coming
yeah,
back to
yeah.
work.
This is
One
great.
might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Nope. Nope. Now I'm gonna press H. Nope, I'm not pressing it. I'll live here with my mannequin wife. Hello, Alma. How you doing today? Really? Yeah, me too. Pardon? Okay, yeah, we can do that. You feel it? No, that's what I remembered because it was on sale and I wanted to play it. No, I'm not pressing Q, but I guess it won't. Okay, I have to.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic.
This game has been a lot of fun so far.
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Stop.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk.
How long have we played? About 2.5
that
hours.
All of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Press Y to spend time with the boys. Hang on, I need to. There we go.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
Uh-oh.
It barely even mattered what lay behind each door.
I'm about to sue
The thought
YouTube.
that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to
Hate
fill it
watching
with many
VODs.
possible
Aw, my bad.
paths and destinations.
I mean, not
Down
my
one
bad.
path lay an
Oh.
enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions.
The yellow
Down
line?
another was a game with a baby.
Yep.
And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free.
What endings have I gotten?
Surely there's an answer down some new
Like
path.
12.
Mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always
This is my
has.
office.
Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The
I'm
more
gonna cry
he
now.
forgets
Well,
which
I
life
still
is the
have a
real one.
bunch. Oh no! And this is gonna turn into the hallway.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, Do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press G to question nothing. The game won't go if I don't press anything, so... yeah, I'm trying to think about the endings that I've gotten. I died a couple times. I got the mind control ending, like the true ending. I went to turn on the mind control machine, but I couldn't figure out how to do the puzzle. I did the deluxe stuff, so I have the bucket. Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, see, it won't. I have to actually.
I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules.
I sat in the closet until he thought I died in real life.
Same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this.
And then I couldn't bring the bucket into the place, and I had to do a quiz on what was a bucket.
Well, maybe this time he'll see.
Funny.
Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Just says, please die. I visited 2 other video games that were within this video game. I ordered a bunch of boxes, but I didn't do anything with it. I think I screwed it up. I soft locked the game.
Workers were gone. What could it
So
be?
there's that.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm trying to think about what else I can do. Oh, there was like buttons on the computer. I keep turning them off, and there's one. I have 2 of the 5 inputs. I don't know how to get the other 3. There's one more I wanted to do. I think I've done everything right. Like, all that's all done.
Came to a set of 2 open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Except going through the red door when he asked me, but I think I'm done everything on the left. I'm pretty sure I am. I need to get the confusion ending again and go into the vent. There will be... Oh, okay. Stairs, something to do with stairs. A private but smelly place for a person. Stop kidding yourselves. I want to go home. The reward. Lies. Oh, this is different. Trust the completionist instinct. Oh, okay. So I need to get... Oh, I need to get to the executive washroom. Yeah, I went into here and I did the 2 deaths.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Here's this one.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler Anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one. And then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have...
I know where the last one is.
And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler Anlarines. None of us can.
So, yeah, this is the one that I die. I die if I go in there. And some lady looks at me and says, oh, at least I'm not insane, and then rushes to work. I remember that. The last one should be in here. It's in someplace smelly, right?
And there it is. The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most...
This game holds a special place. It's been fun.
You've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here.
Right.
And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Oh, this I couldn't figure out. So I try to go up or down, but it just gives me a song. And I talked to Chad about the time that I used to use this in my videos, a song. Yeah, no matter what button I push in here, it just gets me out. So I don't know if there's something I have to do there. Oh, the door's
Here's
just open.
the door. Just go.
I think it's just an elevator. Yeah, but it doesn't go. Elevator's supposed to go somewhere. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I needed to be there. Oh, okay. I wonder what happened if I push the correct button when this is open, but I guess it does nothing. Is there something else I could do down? Can't get down there, can I? No. Yeah, the only thing I haven't figured out yet is the 5 buttons on the computer. And I don't know what else.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I'm
Although this
close
passageway had
to
the word
all the
escape
endings.
written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Need to figure this one out.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Hey. So this is gonna take me to the museum.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know
The
real
fast
story,
forward button was my
trapped
favorite
forever in
part.
his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss.
I just thought it was really
plucking the
funny.
eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Give it to me.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body.
I don't get
killing him
why
instantly.
the narrator changes. Let me just watch the VOD tomorrow. Yeah, you could.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. That's different. Why'd that say 18? $41? What is this? 15 blue. $48 red, right? Was that right? $72 yellow. $31 green. $78 reds. Oh no, it's switching. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought it was something important and it just keeps switching. Never mind then.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Stanley Parable 2? Okay. I thought it was something else, like a secret or something I had to remember. Okay. Something changed because I did. Oh.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figlets.
Oh, no, never mind.
I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life?
I like how they didn't remove the mouse icon.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh, the memory zone.
Nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Sure, of course. The beautiful scenery. And Stanley fell. I like how they didn't remove the mouse from the picture though. Oh, this is much different. Hang on.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible.
I love
then
this.
We had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again.
This is so cool. Triangular house, yeah. They there's a lot of those mostly in the country. I think this is one of the oh. That's a really cool mirror. Oh wait. Okay, okay. And two.
And here was the second Stanley Reed.
Yeah.
You found this one all on your own just by poking around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable...
Was that 6 in Roman numerals?
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
My third one? Warehouse was 4. I think it was the red and blue doors. Yeah, because I went down there with a bucket and it said no buckets allowed.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here by the red and blue doors. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
Really?
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh, well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
No, I didn't find this one here. Underneath the stairs in the washroom are the last two.
This was the 5th mini stand, and this one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
Oh. Every YouTube video. Oh man. Yeah, this was every YouTube video in the early 2000s or early to late 2000s. Yeah, back when people thought credits were a good thing to put in your videos.
Takes you back, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
I spent a lot of time making that video.
Yeah,
but
I'm
it was
sure you
8
did.
Minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
Yep. Oh man. Oh, bad ears.
Then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the boss's bathroom. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected.
Oh man,
it was
that's
a
so
moment
funny.
unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly
The
like.
PowerPoint presentation? Yeah, dude, my movie maker in 480p or 360p.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Oh.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction.
Oh,
See how
no.
that feels.
Please don't play the movie maker again. Oh no.
Okay, yes, the boss's bathroom.
Yeah.
I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
You know, it's funny when I started
Here's where
YouTube.
I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Please don't. I used to use
Yes. I
Windows
love that
Movie Maker
video.
for like my videos early on, and I remember all the time it asking me to put credits on my videos. Oh man, this one really
Still
wasn't
don't
here.
Remember the pink room, Stanley?
Nope.
Still no memory of this one.
No,
Good
this-
room, though. A solid room.
Yeah, solid room, but yeah, I guess it was hard to put a drop down here and have it make sense.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
What happens if I go towards the warehouse? Oh, just wait. Will it let me go? No, okay. I wonder what happened if I went the warehouse way anyway.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
Because
This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
The collectibles. Oh, the jump pad. Yep.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on.
Can I get more jumps?
I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything.
Yep.
In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
And I'm
And
back.
before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
Don't put me back with my fake wife.
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley.
I love narrator, yeah. Awesome. Okay, so is this the actual last time? Like, if I do the story the way it's supposed to be.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
There's no way that this is the actual,
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
There's no other button I can push.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Bucket's coming with us, though. Bucket.
Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
Reboot the game
Perhaps
entirely?
his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
Wait, is that something I actually have to do? Oh, wait.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Yeah.
You can feel that, can't you?
Yes.
The aura of jealousy?
Yes.
It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait,
now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal
where's the skip
entries
button?
detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Don't you remember, narrator? Everything is a bucket. Except for you and I. We're not buckets.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle this debate once and for all.
Okay.
Here we go. There. Now it's settled. No more debate, no more discussion. Take a hike.
I thought he was
with all
done.
the meandering philosophical diatribes about the nature of cleaning supplies and their relationship to broom closets in the natural
Property
order
of
of things.
Stanley. Okay.
All right,
Oh.
I've got a second sticker back here, and
Oh,
I'm going
okay.
to slap it on as well because I think it's appropriate.
Okay.
You see, I feel that it works because the sticker is also a bucket.
Everything is a bucket.
That way, if you're ever unsure whether the thing you're holding is a bucket or not, you can look down at this sticker and say to yourself, ah, it's a bucket. There really is a wide
Mr.
variety of
Bucket.
applications for this sticker.
Okay, are you done now? Are we good?
You know what?
Oh,
I could
okay.
take the name-calling and the dismissal of your kinship with the bucket, but now the broom closet is just giving us a silent treatment. And to be honest, I'm sick of the pettiness on display. You can stay here all you like, but I've had it with this impetulant room of cleaning supplies. Easily the most childish such room I've ever been in. I'll see you outside, and we can get on with the story about you and your bucket.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the PIN number for the keypad was 2845. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
All right, bucket. We're going home.
The elevator raced downward, plummeting towards an unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
What happens if I take my bucket with me to die?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
Okay, I'll listen to everything he says.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
That's the one that says pirate, right? Right up there.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock.
Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in
I wish I knew how to
Stanley's
do the mind control on ending.
No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket. But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good.
I just don't know how to do this.
Best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way.
They high-fived in a really cool...
about taking down the system. When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
I stand there.
Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end.
Why would you do that?
True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and... What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, will go to any lengths not to part with the bucket.
Yeah, I've done the end, that ending.
Stanley can't leave
is that the one where I die, or
not
is
while
that...
he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized...
Yeah, I think that's the one where I die. The confusion ending.
But at least he has the bucket.
Have I done it with the bucket? No, I haven't.
To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as
I'll try that one
I have
after
my
this
bucket
one.
with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Oh, okay. So I
All of
can't
his
leave.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
They're all on.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him,
telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket turned out to be. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
And there's where
Stanley
the
did not
quiz
question
is.
why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk.
Everything's
but Stanley
buckets.
chose not to think about this obvious fact.
The game proved
he was
that too.
firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
No, that's right.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
But what happens if I unplug it? This is... Right. Worst case, I just come back and I just unplug it. Because unplug is where it is
This
last
is
time.
the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Place. Small, but nice. Some people call it cozy. Oh. Oh, there you are.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head. Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me. Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
It can do solids too, okay? Don't listen to the loud man.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Disrespect. Press P to ignore everyone in life except for me.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it. Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
Would have been cool if it was the trailer for one of the other games.
What am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another. Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket? Oh no. I'm having feelings for the bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes. The bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome
Why
situation.
am I having romantic
Stanley,
sex?
give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
That was weird. Oh, here we go.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
So, do I actually have a... No, that's...
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
What happens if I go back there and unplug the phone? Do I die with the phone? We'll try it.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift. Good,
Said the bucket.
now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
I like...
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Now pick up the...
Whoa, hold on. Why did you unplug the phone? Were you trying to resist the bucket's orders? Stanley, I was joking. Obviously, the bucket isn't talking to you and telling you to do things. Buckets can't talk. It was a joke. Don't you get the joke? It's funny, Stanley. A talking
It's
bucket.
funny, Stanley.
Can't you see? Oh, goodness. I must have really bungled up the delivery if you actually took me seriously. Where did I mess up the joke? Should I have paused for longer or spoken quicker? Comedic timing is so difficult. I wish I were better at it. But there isn't exactly an instructional video on comedy that one can watch to fully... Oh, wait, yes, there is. It's sitting right here. Let's take a look.
Okay.
What is comedic timing? What is comedic timing? How does it work? How long should it last? How can it be used to effectively silence your political enemies? And more importantly, can it be taught in its entirety within 90 seconds?
Yes.
Thankfully, the answer to all of these questions is yes. Let's dive deeper. If you've ever told a joke or made someone laugh, in all likelihood, you did it while standing 50 to 80 centimeters from them in a room of no more than 76 degrees Fahrenheit, with one of your arms raised straight upward at a 15-degree angle from your body. These are the optimal conditions for good comedic timing. To begin the joke, start by stating and spelling your name. Next, provide a brief synopsis of the joke, including the specific times at which the recipient of the joke will laugh, and then spell out your name a second time. With these steps complete, it's time to begin the humor. Speak the entire joke in no more than 18 seconds and no less than 13 and a half, pausing only for bathroom breaks when necessary. When the joke has concluded, it is customary to inform your listener that the joke is over by declaring in your loudest possible voice, "I'm Dunny, with the funny. Let's practice screaming, I'm Dunny with the funny now.
I'm Dunny with the funny. I'm Dunny with
Good.
the funny.
This saying is a perfect example of expectations management, which is the cornerstone of good comedy. Finally, it's time to hand out surveys. Collecting hard data from your audience on how rapt they were throughout the joke is the only way to grow or learn as a comedian. An effective survey should be no less than 10 pages long and should include the same question reprinted several times, just to ensure the survey taker is actually paying attention and not simply filling in answers at random. And that's all there is. With these strategies at your disposal, you'll have audiences doubled over in laughter and even tripled over in laughter in no time at all. Just remember to let them stop laughing at some point, you gut-busting little scamp. After all, we're each of us needed on the front lines of the war to fight the 12-legged invader who threaten our very existence, and to very likely die in a hailstorm of bullets and mandibles. All of us must be prepared to give our lives to this noble cause, just as our children must do after us, and their children after them. Godspeed, and may Earth reign supreme.
What? That took a turn?
Hey, goodness, this video is a little outdated, isn't it?
What do you mean
no
outdated?
matter. I think the fundamentals of proper comedic timing are still as relevant today as they were back then.
Wait.
So with that in mind, I believe the only way forward is for us to return to the two doors and walk through all of this again, so I can try telling my story with more appropriate comedic delivery. Come along, let's head back.
Okay. Tsar, T-S-A-R. I'm going to tell you a joke. T-S-A-R. What did the star win at the competition? A constellation prize. I'm Dunny with the funny. You're welcome, chat.
I can feel it. This time, I'm really going to nail the delivery. You'll be in stitches. A talking bucket, you'll say? How ridiculous. How absurd. What a hilarious concept. The king of comedy. That's what you'll call me. Thank goodness we had the instructional video. Otherwise, who knows where we'd be right now. Well, I wouldn't be the king of comedy, that's for sure. The bucket spoke to Stanley. The bucket spoke. The bucket spoke. Oh, I'll figure it out on the fly. No need to overthink things.
Oh, the other bucket sticker is gone. If I didn't know the context behind that, you'd probably call 911. Yeah, and you notice I made sure to do this and not put my arm out and then raise it, because I'm like, nope, somebody's gonna take a screenshot of me halfway up. I'm not getting that done.
Here we go. You ready?
Yes, okay.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No, what's going on? There was supposed to be several rooms leading up to this. There was supposed to be a build-up to this point, a dramatic display of remarkable comedic wit which culminates in this scene with the phone.
Oh,
but
did I screw it up?
The timing's completely off. The joke will never land. Well, not the way it was meant to. And it's all my fault. I must have forgotten that the phone room comes immediately after the two doors room. What an egregious mistake. I've made a fool of myself. I don't deserve the title of King of Comedy. I'm nothing. I'm not even the lowliest joke-telling whelp. I think I need to go back.
You need to, not me.
Instructional video again.
Please no.
Yes, surely that will help me improve my... Here we go. You ready?
Okay.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of two open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Should I go left? Do this again.
What? We're back at the phone already?
Oh, did I screw it up?
Here we go. You ready? When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left. What? We're back at the phone already? No.
Oh, okay. So no, I have to go
Here we
left.
go.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
When Stanley and the bucket came to a set of 2 open doors, they entered the door on the left.
Okay.
No. You were supposed to go through the door on the right, leading back to the phone. Did you not even look at the instructional video? I think this is all covered very clearly. There's no way I can make the comedic timing work now. It's done. The joke is completely done and over. It's all your fault, Stanley. I'm going to be ridiculed in the community of other joke writers. I'm going to be shamed at every one of our meetings from now on. All because you couldn't watch a simple video and take a hint. Are you proud of yourself for bringing me down, Stanley? Are you proud?
Stanley, you love the bucket so much it's like you... it's as though all of your other most prized possessions pale in comparison. Yes.
Pale and companion. Oh
I heard that
no.
you are pale with shame over how unabashedly in love with a bucket you are. No?
The first one was better.
Is it the delivery? Pale with shame. Pale with shame? Pale... What's another word to describe a bucket? Stanley, this bucket is so metal, I think I saw it playing guitar. No. We're getting away from making fun of Stanley's obsession with the bucket, which was the whole point of this. I'm no good at these jokes. I need more instructional videos. That's exactly what it is. That's what will make me the king of comedy again. More instructional videos. Let's see.
So that's the only ending that gives you credits. Is that the true ending? Okay, one more.
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
We'll do one more ending and then I'll call the stream for the day. Which one can I do? I can go downstairs with the
Stanley
bucket.
picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Shut the door. Reboot the game entirely.
Still
Yeah,
no one
I'm.
was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find out. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Oh, okay.
He'd be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed. Without my bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me!
The bucket. Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket. Come to me, Stanley. Find me. He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from.
His head?
The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh yeah, might be dead on the. Make sure there's a bucket over my head.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security.
She has a bucket now.
But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was.
He didn't have his bucket.
This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
My life kicks ass and backflipped all the way to work. That's perfect. Oh man. Wait, whoa. This is the confusion ending. Okay, let's finish this.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Okay, because there's a vent.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply... The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket. Off on a... Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Because... Oh, I should have went right, because this is the confusion ending, right? Isn't this?
Still no one was here.
Or do I have to go
Stanley
right
needed
for
the
the
bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was coming to a staircase. Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Okay, maybe okay, okay, I guess we'll do the suicide, the commit not alive. Damn, I almost finished that too.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
What?
Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, if not for... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical...
Oh, I wonder if the elevator will work with bucket. Okay, let's do the not alive one. Okay, I'll do that one, then I'll call it for the day. I know there's like 2 endings that I'm missing for sure. I don't know how I'm gonna get any more import codes on those computers, or the boxes, or like...
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death. The door behind them was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
By the way, I'd like to know why this exists.
As the
No,
machine
dude, I don't have
waited
anything for you.
And Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how
see you later.
meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket, but what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself, and he sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
The buckets was?
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Aw, the bucket. Welcome to the grand exhibit. You're standing at the precipice of knowledge. Much like a bucket itself, the human mind is frequently empty. Within I say that. Canarvit. I can't say it. I can read it, but my mouth won't say it. Like I can't say it. Avoid. I don't know why I can't say that today. It's like sometimes I can't say astronomer. But I don't know. Anyway, but through the use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched in sustained knowledge. Oh, sustained, sorry. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here into the world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? We will change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of the exhibit, or will you turn a blind eye and continue as ignorance and darkness?
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
There's the bucket.
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
The hanging bucket. Oh.
But there is something we can do. Something we can do together, you and I, that will right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket.
Wow.
We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision for...
Commander Bucket. Our Lord and Savior Bucket. All right, chat. I think that's gonna do it for today. We got a lot of endings. There's only two that I didn't really figure out. Maybe I'll figure out how to do them or watch a YouTube video or something on them. But what a game! What a game! This is awesome. I really thoroughly enjoyed my time in this game. If you have any more games like this or anything else you guys want to check out, of course, !Discord.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah, I'll
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I'll be back Thursday. It's just Tuesday, right? I just want to see if there is another. No, there's not. But yeah. But I'm still upset. Oh yeah, it's kind of a feels bad moment. But I'm happy you're here for the ending of it. Stop, Mocha, stop. But yeah, I'll be back Thursday. Let me hit the button. I appreciate you all joining me for today. Had a lot of fun. It's a really good game, really funny. And yeah, I'll be back Thursday. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day and see you and goodbye.